Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my series reading The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Without further ado, returning to The Invisible Man as read by Lord Naren White. You have been amazingly energetic and clever, this letter ran. Though what you stand to gain by it I cannot imagine. You are against me. For a whole day you have chased me. You have tried to rob me of a night's rest, but I have had food in spite of you. I have slept in spite of you, and the game is only beginning. The game is only beginning. There is nothing for it but to start the terror. This announces the first day of the terror. Port Burdock is no longer under the Queen. Tell your colonel of police and the rest of them, it is under me, the terror. This is the day one of year one of the new epoch, the epoch of the invisible man. I am invisible man the first. To begin with the rule will be easy. The first day there will be one execution for the sake of example. A man named Kemp. Death starts for him today. He may lock himself away, hide himself away, get guards about him, put on armor if he likes. Death, the unseen death, is coming. Let him take precautions. It will impress my people. Death starts from the pillar box by midday. The letter will fall in as the postman comes along, then off. The game begins. Death starts. Help him not, my people, lest death fall upon you also. Today, Kemp is to die. Kemp read this letter twice. It's no hoax, he said. That's his voice, and he means it. He turned the folded sheet over and saw on the addressed side of the postmark, Hinton Dean, and the prosaic detail, 2D to pay. He got up slowly, leaving his lunch unfinished. The letter had come by the 1 o'clock post and went into his study. He rang for his housekeeper and told her to go round the house at once, examining all the fastenings of the windows and close all the shutters. He closed the shutters of his study himself. From a locked drawer in his bedroom, he took a little revolver, examined it carefully, and put it into the pocket of his lounge jacket. He wrote a number of brief notes, one to the Colonel Adier, and gave them to his servant to take, with the explicit instructions as to her way of leaving the house. There is no danger, he said, and added a mental reservation to you. To you. He remained meditative for a space after doing this, and then returned to his cooling lunch. He ate with gaps of thought. Finally, he struck the table sharply. We will have him, he said, and I am the bait. He will come too far. He went up to the belvedere, carefully shutting every door after him. It's a game, he said, an odd game, but the chances are all for me, Mr. Griffin, in spite of your invisibility. Griffin, contra mundum, with a vengeance. He stood at the window, staring at the hot hillside. He must get food every day, and I don't envy him. Did he really sleep last night? Out in the open somewhere, secure from collisions? I wish we could get some good, cold, wet weather instead of the heat. He may be watching me now. He went close to the window. Something rapped smartly against the brickwork over the frame and made him start violently back. I'm getting nervous, said Kemp, but it was 5 minutes before he went to the window again. It must have been a sparrow, he said. Presently, he heard the front doorbell ringing and hurried downstairs. He unbolted and unlocked the door, examined the chain, put it up, and opened cautiously without showing himself. A familiar voice hailed him. It was Adia. "Your servant's been assaulted, Kemp." Excuse me. "Your servant's been assaulted, Kemp," he said, round the door. "What?" exclaimed Kemp. "Had that note of yours taken away from her. He's close about here. Let me in." Kemp released the chain, and Adia entered through as narrow as an opening as possible. He stood in the hall, looking with infinite relief at Kemp refastening the door. "Note was snatched out of her hand. Scared her horribly. She's down at the station. Hysterics. He's close here. What was it about?" Kemp swore. What a fool I was," said Kemp. "I might have known. It's not an hour's walk away from Hinton Dean already." "What's up?" said Adia. "Look here," said Kemp, and led the way into his study. He handed Adia the invisible man's letter. Adia read it and whistled softly. "And you," said Adia. "Proposed a trap like a fool," said Kemp. "And sent my proposal out by a maidservant to him." Adia followed Kemp's profanity. "He'll clear out," said Adia. "No, not he," said Kemp. A resounding smash of glass came from upstairs. Adia had a silvery glimpse of a little revolver, half out of Kemp's pocket. "It's a window upstairs," said Kemp, and led the way up. There came a second smash while they were still on the staircase. When they reached the study, they found 2 of the 3 windows smashed, half the room littered with the splintered glass, and 1 big flint lying on the writing table. The 2 men stopped in the doorway, contemplating the wreckage. Kemp swore again. And as he did so, the 3rd window went with a snap like a pistol, hung starred for a moment, and collapsed in jagged, shivering triangles into the room. What's this for?" said Adia. "It's a beginning," said Kemp. "There's no way of climbing up here?" "Not for a cat," said Kemp. "No shutters?" "Not here. All the downstairs rooms. Hello?" Smash and whack boards hit hard came from downstairs. "Confound him," said Kemp. "That must be. Yes, it's one of the bedrooms. He's going to do all the house, but he's a fool. The shutters are up and the glass will fall outside. He'll cut his feet." Another window proclaimed its destruction. The 2 men stood on the landing perplexed. "I have it," said Adia. "Let me have a stick or something, and I'll go down to the station and get the bloodhounds put on. That ought to settle him. They're hard by, not 10 minutes. Another window went the way of its fellows. "You haven't a revolver?" asked Adia. Kemp's hand went to his pocket. Then he hesitated. "I haven't one, at least to spare." "I'll bring it back," said Adia. "You'll be safe here." Kemp, ashamed of his momentary lapse from truthfulness, handed him the weapon. "Now for the door," said Adia. As they stood, hesitating in the hall, they heard one of the first-floor bedroom windows crack and clash. Kemp went to the door and began to slip the bolts as silently as possible. His face was a little paler than usual. "You must step out straight," said Kemp. In another moment, Adia was on the doorstep and the bolts were dropping back into the staples. He hesitated for a moment, feeling more comfortable with his back against the door. Then he marched upright and square down the steps. He crossed the lawn and approached the gate. A little breeze seemed to ripple over the grass. Something moved near him. "Stop a bit," said a voice, and Adia stopped dead, and his hand tightened on the revolver. We will go ahead and stop there for this week. As usual, I want to say thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care and thanks again.